Hello, thanks for being back. It's Robert Ascendant Loft. Those of you who watch the videos regularly will see that this has changed slightly. There's a reason for that, and that reason is mice. These plinths underneath the boxes, 6 to 8 inches off the floor. I'm sick of it. I did show you on a previous video actually some mice running around in the loft. Well, it turns out they were underneath there. Now I have got a video to follow where I actually lifted the bottom shelf of these boxes up because I ripped them all out for the risk of infection. So I've ripped them out and I've got a video of where the second load of mice had actually ran out. We need to get rid of them altogether because they're both harmful to you and your birds, which is really no good. This section, the red boxes there, which I've stuck on top of what were the yellow section, the door hinges just need replacing. I might convert them into open overs actually. It's just chewed to pieces, so I've just sort of used that as a storage. And then to reduce the labour, I had to get rid of a load of birds. So there's 20 in here now, I believe. But to reduce the labour, I've just got these two sections open now with 20 birds, and as you can see in that, they're starting to pair off again on their own. So we'll see what comes of that. Anyway, I'll put that video on now for you so you can see the mice and just let us know what you think. I believe I've got rid of them, destroyed their nests, but there's always one or two that'll come back. So I got sick of the sight of seeing mice. I've worked out where they are. Now, bear with us here with the camera footage because there was about 100 just ran out 2 seconds ago. So I'll be quick. Look at all them. This is why it's a requirement to take your boxes out and just make sure, because this is an absolute joke and I am ashamed of myself. Absolutely ashamed. Disgusting. Absolutely rotten. Harmful to your birds, harmful to yourself. So hopefully we'll get this eradicated. This is about 50 years worth of mice and building. So we'll get this absolutely smashed. Get as many as we can killed. Hopefully we've disturbed them so they'll all go their own ways. So I'll just crack on. I just wanted to show you this because I've been killing 5 or 6 at a time. However, as you can see, it's been to no avail. I thought I had them all. I was absolutely wrong. So with regards to the mice, where will they nest? You want to be trying to root down exactly where they'd be comfortable, where they'd feel safe, where it's dry and there's food available. Under the boxes, as you've seen on that video I've just showed you, they were my boxes. Quite ashamed by it, but it's 20 years minimum worth of building in there that the mice have done. They built through all the back walls. It doesn't just affect your health as well, it deteriorates your shed. So they've moved out of there. We need to be looking for other places. One of the locations, just a standard set of drawers, which I keep generally me magazines and stuff in. They do have small gaps at the back, and there we go. They've tried to get in there unsuccessfully because I've disturbed them again. If you disturb them enough, you don't need to kill them. Secondly, these bags and stuff down here, they tried this a lot, and all my straw, hay, shavings, stuff like that, they tried that, so I've just locked it in a bin out the way. Constantly walking around, disturbing any pardon me, disturbing any locations where they may be hiding. You've got the likes of the bins here, make sure the lids are on properly. Any buckets, any baskets you have, just make sure you disturb them, so they can't settle down. All that straw and stuff, as we know, they came from, the mice were in the other side, and all that straw and stuff was just sitting down there. How the bloody hell has he getting into there? That's all locked up and everything. Poor thing will be hungry. I'll get him out in a minute. So you want to be looking around your framework, potential routes. So as you can see, there's a little mouse hole there that leads to the outside. Another in the corner there. And I believe on the outside of here, there's one in the corner. They'll just basically dig their way through anything. Another little hole there, that's just like a through for them. And any little gaps you have, like in the loft. Now I know this up here, this is ideal grounds for them, and there probably will be mouse droppings actually if I put that through there. That's just something I haven't managed to get sorted yet. I need to pull this wall back off and redo that. I did see them even in disturbed areas, if they can find it peaceful in there. As you can see, mouse droppings here, and they've gone right down the back of me grip box there. That's where they came through. Another mouse hole there to underneath the loft. These are all just little things that we need to get sorted out to alleviate it altogether. I mean, they will dig more holes, don't get us wrong, and we will see more of them. But as long as it's not to the extent that I had there before, I think I've defeated it. You just got to keep on top of it. Hygiene in the loft, just a quick scrape out every day, as opposed to cleaning once every week or every 2 weeks. I mean, I try to do it myself as often as I can. However, I work, so I don't always have the time, especially with the children and then all the other lofts. But the key there for me is reduce the numbers, which I have. That bottom loft, I've managed to get rid of, I think, 55 birds, so there's only 40 in there now. Middle loft is still to get sorted. The breeding end up here has about 20 birds in, and then the young birds, obviously they're going to get dispersed between the rest of the lofts anyway at the end of the season. So this is actually me densest sort of part, if you like. It needs sorting out, and I will get it done. What we must remember as well, there's a few options for getting rid of mice. One's just get rid of the nest completely, which I prefer. Secondly, sticky pads. I've used them for a few months now, catching 5 or 6 a week, no bother at all. But they breed just as fast. If it's a large family, they breed just as quick as the what's that? Oh, it's just a magpie. Sorry, I've got the birds out for the first time. Anything I see puts a panic button in. Yeah, so the pads, they can breed just as fast as they're losing them, which is why I prefer to get rid of the nests. You can use snap traps. They do get wise to them though, with different baits. They just start avoiding them over time, I suppose. Another option is poisons and pesticides. Now you've got to remember with all of these things, unless it's in a bait box, it's all harmful to your birds. You want to keep it out the way, which is why I've separated that extra section there. I can put traps in there as a preventative measure, and the boxes in the corridors I've put the dowel through so no birds can get in them. Yeah, it's harmful for the birds. The bait boxes, you might think, yes, they're completely sealed, brilliant, but what I have experienced in the past, not up here when I was flying from home, is that the mice chew through the poisons, they drag bits of it out of the box, then your birds come out and start eating that thinking it's seed. It happens. So the preferred method for me is, even if it's a couple of days of labour, it took me either 2 or 3 days to completely rip them boxes out and put them back in, and I was fearful of, oh, will they not fit right, because it's all been there that long. You know what it's like, you take something apart, it never goes back together the same way. You just got to do it. Just turn off your planning head and your thinking head and just do it. That's the easiest way, I find. And just rip out any parts. Then plinths underneath the boxes, replace them with mesh, because the mice like nice, dark, dry, it doesn't necessarily have to be warm because they make it warm with nesting. That's the areas they like. So you can just replace it with mesh, so there's airflow going through it, so you can see it. The pigeons are constantly disturbing it, and that's exactly what I've done. But I've put the plinth back over the edges because I don't like. I just don't like bits of poo and stuff caught in the mesh. I find it hard to clean. So I put that over it. Underneath your loft, you want it nice and clear. I remember usually rats won't live where there is mice, however they do love underneath lofts. Oh, it's a crow, never mind. So nice and open, haven't covered it up. If I do cover it, it will be with mesh, but all the way around. It can't get too dark or warm under there, under the cabin as well. This gives you another problem though, cats, but cats are domesticated, they generally live in the houses, so you scare them off, they'll not bother coming back unless you're feeding them really. But you just got to keep on top of it, keep checking any traps you've got out. Remember to keep them out the way, even if you just segregate one of the pigeons' boxes on the floor, so the birds can't get in it. You put the traps in, but you can access it as well. That's one way you can do it. And it's not so much that the mice will hurt your birds or directly give them diseases, but they poo and wee all over the corn that's in the trough, because I've seen them before. They'll jump in while the birds are there, it doesn't bother them if they're hungry enough. They'll wee in the water, they'll drink the water, and they just pass all the diseases through there. And there's nothing really, I don't think, that you can put in water and corn to sort of neutralise any diseases from mice. Taking away food on a night time is good. It's not 100% though. A mouse can literally live on the calories in a piece of paper. They need very, very little to survive. And failing getting food, all they do is hunker down in the nests until there is food available. They'll come out, check every now and then, and you'll see them using the same route all the time, usually around the perimeters of an area. Oh, there's a little one flying. Usually in the perimeters of an area, around boxes, stuff like that, around the edges of your walls. Very rarely they'll actually run straight through the middle, especially when you're there. So put your snap traps sort of facing the wall. That way they walk over it and they snap. They've got nowhere else to go, either onto the trap or through the wall, and they can't get through a wall that quick. Eventually you will get them, but don't stop because you've stopped seeing mice, because they will come back. It may not even be that they've gone, it may be that you're just not seeing them because they've grown wise to you. So just make sure you keep on top of it all the time, and then you won't get an infestation like what we had up here. Anyway, thank you for watching. I appreciate the support. If you could like, subscribe, even hit that little bell in the corner. It'll alert you when there's more videos coming on. I try and do a loft update maybe once a week, but if there's any action, i.e. the mice, I will do videos in between as well. So yeah, if you could show your support, like, subscribe, and I'll be back on with more videos shortly. Thank you.